Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome to the big show. I have some breaking news. There has been a subpoena from the U.S. House Oversight Committee, and they are wanting to talk to Jill Biden's top aides, and Anthony, Ashley, and Annie. Look, they've been in the rumor mill for about a week or so, and I don't know who started all this. I just remember them because their names all start with A, and I thought that was weird. And so now they've been subpoenaed. I'm reading more in this story. I'll read some more on the next break and probably have a little more details in the next segment. But this segment, we're going to stop down for a second and talk to Dallas radio legend Pugs Moran, because it's time to do entertainment news. Welcome, Pugs, back to the James Show.
I feel welcome.
Yes, well, the horn section, this is the only thing they have to do all week, so they were just waiting for you to show up. The number one thing I want to talk to you in the entertainment world is the Power Slapping League. Now, you are a guy who keeps up with UFC. Yeah, you are a guy who keeps up it well enough. You could be their next little sideline reporter or whatnot. So I imagine you probably know more about this than I do. Tell me about the Power Slapping League.
Controversial power slapping league. You know, the UFC, they sold Dana White's UFC, sold to Endeavor Artist Group for billions and billions of dollars. So, you know, Endeavor's a little bit more, shall we say, politically correct than maybe the Fertittas were. The Fertittas were the previous owners of UFC. Anyway, the point is this: Dana White was out there. I got to imagine he was somewhere in the backwoods of Eastern Europe where he saw some slap fighting event and he decided to bring it to America. That is, James, I'm not lying. That is the story. He was overseas somewhere and he saw this underground slap fighting and he brought it to America. He put the money that Endeavor allows behind it and they blew it up. It's one of the hottest and fastest growing, certainly, appearances or events in Las Vegas.
Well, hang on. Explain this to someone who hasn't seen it, because some people have decency on their social media feeds, unlike you and I, who's just filth, right?
Right. Vulgarity. Okay, so what it is two incredibly gigantic meathead-looking dudes stand across from each other. I think of an arm wrestling setup.
It looks like Sylvester Stallone and Over the Top. These giant meatheads have its tiny table in front of them. They stand in front of them, stare at each other, and one of them just smacks the snot out of the other one. They take turns slapping. That's it. How do you know when someone wins?
Well, quite often they get completely knocked unconscious, or I suppose they stop, or there is a medical. I would imagine that. I mean, James, we're talking about 300+ pound men open-handed slapping one another at close distances. You're going to have jaw fractures. You're going to have orbital bone fracture. I mean, I'm sure it could stop for any number of reasons. But the big guy, the world champion, is some Siberian freak show named Dumpling. And he's apparently the biggest name in the sport. James, when I tell you this sport is big, 7 billion views in just the past year. 7 billion.
But is that sustainable? If it's just like a freak show and we've all seen it, like, why are we going to come back next year and watch it again?
Well, that's exactly the problem that I see with it. I mean, this is not MMA. When I started watching MMA 25, 30 years ago, it was because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's an art form. These guys are talented athletes who have perfected this craft. That's not what this is.
No.
So this is just two guys. Now, look, first of all, let me just say I would go see it. I don't know that I'd buy season passes, but I would go see it, and I would support it to anybody who wants to try and take it down. Because honestly, how else are these guys going to make $500 in a night? You know, nobody's holding a gun to their heads. This is just something for big dumb meatheads to do. A trip to Vegas. They're not curing cancer, is what I'm saying.
I hear you. I feel the same way about boxing. Like, I don't want to take a job where I get punched in the head, but you should have the freedom to go get punched in the head for a living if you want.
James, you might remember to hire a team of dwarves.
Hang on. Did you cover like the hole in your phone? Because you kind of went wonky there.
No, it looks like no.
Okay, well, you sound better now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I once tried to hire a team of dwarves for the dodgeball tournament that I was putting together here locally, and I was told that I couldn't do that. And then one of the dwarves who I was going to hire, he came up to me and he said, "Dude, I could have really used the $100." And I'm like, he wanted to do it. And if you're trying to tell him that, he can't do it because we're suddenly, going to nanny state this whole thing.
Yeah, I thought this was America. This in America? Where are we? Are we in Russia? I thought we were in America.
If a dude from Plano wants to get smacked across the face on stage in Vegas by a Siberian named Dumpling, who should tell him no?
Right. I mean, that's basically what the founding fathers were fighting for.
I love it.
Oh, well, the other thing that
doing dumb things to each other.
The other thing that rolls through my mind when I see the slap fighting league is this possibly another Mike Judge prediction that has come true from the movie Idiocracy? Because the number one show in the country was, pardon the terse language, it was called Ow My Balls, and it was just some guy getting kicked in the crotch over and over and over for the whole show. This has an Ow My Balls feel to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's overstating it a little. I see where you're going, but what it is I just think, look, it's just it's a spectacle. We love a spectacle, whether it's the Roman circuses or, vaudeville. We love to be entered. That's all this is. Is it a sustainable sport, to your earlier question? I don't see how it possibly could be. Is it something that I'll go check out in Vegas? Heck yeah.
Yeah, and don't listen to me on these predictions because I don't understand how we had a season 2 of American Idol. Like, let's have a competition to see who can sing the best. Well, we just did that. It was Kelly Clarkson. She won. Next thing, So like, if you find the greatest face slapper in the world, what are we going to do next season?
You have the same take with the Super Bowl. I mean, we do like to crown new people.
Right. All right, we're going to continue with the great Pugs Moran next. We're in the middle of entertainment news. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome to The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. We're continuing entertainment news with the great Pugs Moran. And Pugs, this is kind of overlapping with both the sports world and the political world, but I find this more entertaining than anything. Donald Trump has challenged President Biden to 18-hole round of golf. And I think they should put a little stank on it, and whoever loses has to drop out. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
Right. They could have it on TV. And all these people out there who say, I can't watch golf, it's too boring. You would all watch that. You would watch every swing of that duo.
Probably the highest rated thing on television. It would be Sunday Night Football. It would be big. I mean, there's no possible. I mean, I don't know, James. We live in such a weird time. I would think, traditionally, politically, no way that happens. Who knows?
Right. Well, I've also thought for watching golf on TV, it would probably be more entertaining to watch people that suck. Like, it would be more entertaining to watch you and I do 9 holes of golf than a professional.
Do not know of Biden's skills, but I understand that Trump is legitimately good. He is known to take a lot of mulligans and that sort of thing, but he is known to be a pretty good golfer. So I don't think it'd be much of a contest.
Okay, so the other story that this doesn't sound like something I would normally be interested in, but it's just so silly, is Jennifer Lopez. She's making news for 2 reasons. One of them, she just canceled her summer tour because ticket sales were so dismal, which is like, oh man, how bad does that have to feel? Like if you having any sort of questions about your ego or the fragility of your own confidence, that'll kill you. And then also that she may be getting a divorce from Ben Affleck soon. Oh darn, who saw that falling apart?
Yeah, I thought that was over a while. They're on again, off again, on again, off again. There's that great viral video of the two of them. It looks like they're walking back to their car after brunch, and he opens the passenger side for her. She gets in, he slams it, and he turns, and you see him roll his eyes like, ugh. And he just slams it like, I'm so done with you.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so funny. It's probably about 3-4 months old at this point, but it was the thing that started the headlines of, are they getting a divorce? Because they'd obviously had a disagreement, and he was still doing the gentlemanly thing of opening the car door for her, and she got in, and he just slammed it and rolled his eyes, and somebody with their phone got it.
I don't understand. Like, didn't they date 20 years ago and it didn't work out?
Yeah.
So why would they even try this? What a dumb move.
That's funny because I do have an answer for that. So here is what has been explained about that. They were a hot and heavy couple back in the early 2000s. They were going to get married, and they made a movie called Geely.
I remember Geely. It was a bomb.
It was hugely hyped, and, these two superstars were in this because you got to remember at that time.
They were a power couple.
Jennifer Lopez was the number one touring. She had the number one tour in the world. She had the number one album. She had the number one movie, and she also had the number one book. I remember talking about that on my old show. So she was as big as it got for about 6 months. And Geely came out, and it was an absolute bomb, and Hollywood destroyed them, and they broke up. And they came back together.
Wait, hang on. I don't keep up with celebrity gossip at all. That's what broke them up? That Geely was a flaming turd that ruined their marriage?
That's what they say now. After getting back together, they say, we didn't really give the relationship a try. We allowed Hollywood and the bomb and the embarrassment and the criticisms from everybody to drive us apart. So they used that from 20 years ago as the reason for why they're getting back together. So to answer your original question, yeah, they were together years ago, broke up for about 20 years, and now they're back together, and now they're breaking up again.
But I would tell this to my neighbor across the street, my first cousin, casual friends. No, you don't need to marry someone who you were engaged to 20 years ago and it already fell apart.
I don't know. Why so cynical? I think love knows no time period. I think the garbage gets in the way of it. I can tell you I have one great relationship from my past that I think is entirely ended due to the fact that, I moved. And if I had a chance to go back and fix it, I would. I think you're crazy.
Okay. How sad is it that she had to cancel her tour because it was selling so bad? Even if you're a person who is the most stoic on the inside, that has to just break your heart.
It's sad. It's J-Lo. You know what? She could use a few lumps. She's had a pretty good run. Yeah, I just told you. She had the number one tour, the number one album, the number one. Yeah, she'll survive. I sometimes I get a little chuckle when people take the worst case scenario. James, she's still probably only worth about $500 million. Come on. She's fine.
Oh, no, I like that take on it because we know that, or we think, we've heard a lot of stories that she's just a bad person. She's insufferable. She's rude to people under her, and she doesn't deserve long-lasting success. And so I'm kind of partial to that. Like, did you? Did you think you were still big and famous enough to fill arenas like in 1999? Oh darn!
It's delicious. Hey, Justin Timberlake's going through a little bit of that too. He's having some problems with his tour. The DUI of a couple of weeks ago certainly didn't help. I thought it would.
Why would that? Someone's not going to go see a Justin Timberlake concert because he was a little tipsy in Connecticut?
No. The problem is that they weren't going to go see him before that.
Oh, okay. I hear that.
And they're finding that out now as the tour rolls on into the summer months. So, look, I love Justin Timberlake. I do. He seems cool. I don't know what people say about him, but every time, he's so funny on Saturday Night Live. He's terrific in every little acting job I've seen him do. So I like him. But, hey, man, you can't stay 25 and relevant forever. You have to age gracefully.
Yeah, or you should go for a entertainment platform that skews much, much older in the demographics so you can still be relevant when you're, say, 47 or so. Just throwing that out there. Thank you very much, Pugs.
Thank you.
Where they found you outside of the James Show?
RadioMisfits.com.
It's that easy. Dallas radio legend Pugs Moran, thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much for hanging out on the James Show. Tucker Carlson is going to be coming to Dickies Arena, Fort Worth, September 24th. This is the tour he's doing where Roseanne Barr is going to be with him. Tickets on sale now at tuckercarlson.com, or you can text the word Tucker to our phone number, 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227 for your chance to win a pair of tickets. That's Tucker to 800-288-9227. 9227. That's the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I need to talk to homeowners, though. Listen, we just had some more rain go through, and if you see any shingles missing, if you see any of that flashing sticking up, if you even have a suspicion that your roof might be compromised in any way, get it checked out. It doesn't cost anything to have Greg Hiltz and Paradigm Roofing come look at it. James Parker here for Paradigm Roofing. And look, especially if you see a brown spot on the ceiling, you need to get that covered as fast as possible. You know, the insurance isn't so generous that if you let these things slide that they're going to want to cover all of it. Nope. The timing is super important here, and your house, you kind of need that. 972-542-7774. That'll get you in touch with Paradigm Roofing. 972-542-7774. You'll get a full-time job supervisor on every work site, transparent pricing and estimates. And if there's any problems, which there probably won't be, but hey, this is a human endeavor, you have the backup of having the owner's cell phone number on the bottom of every contract. You can call Greg yourself. The phone number for Paradigm Roofing, 972-542-7774.